The back lever is an advanced calisthenics skill that relies heavily on the shoulders and much of the posterior chain to hold us in space. At first glance, getting to this point can seem impossible, but with the help of the tuck back lever, we can make this technique significantly more manageable. So today we're going to be going through how to do a tuck back lever with the idea to get this as transferable as possible to the back lever proper, but also making sure that you have the progressions to get you to the tuck back lever in the first place. Let's get into it. How you doing, Cali Crowd? Welcome back to the channel that makes calisthenics simple. Before we get into how to perform a tuck back lever, we have to mention some safety prompts. More than most calisthenics skills, the back lever puts a lot of strain on the shoulders and the elbows at the absolute end range of extension. Couple this with the fact that the biceps are tasked with stabilizing our entire body weight while fully stretched, and we can see why even in a tuck back lever we need to be careful. As with all bodyweight skills, I would highly recommend that you train for this warm, using movements that limber up the biceps, shoulders and serratus especially before jumping into back lever training. With that out of the way, let's take a look at the cues that make up a solid tuck back lever. And the first is to do with hand positioning. The hand position that we want to adopt is one that allows the hands to sit just inside shoulder width. The reason for this is that by having the hands slightly closer together, we can allow the lats to sit on the inside of the arms, thereby reducing the demand of the shoulder ever so slightly. Whether you perform the back lever on gymnastics rings or a straight bar is also down to your preference. Rings will allow the wrist to fall into a more natural position, but will require you to use more energy in stabilizing your tuck back lever. A bar will provide the stability for you, but by fixing the hand in place, we need more mobility in our wrists and elbows to accommodate the eccentric load we end up putting on our arms. Ultimately, it's up to you, but with both, I'd advise you to remain low to the ground when starting out, so that you have a way of bailing out should you find yourself in an uncomfortable position. In the tuck back lever, visualize pulling the elbows together too. This will not only encourage the arms to remain straight, an important aspect of all straight arm skills, but will also spur the lats to pull more of their weight in this position, as arm adduction, so bringing the arm closer to you, is one of their many jobs. Understanding what's going on in the shoulders is going to be key to getting a strong tuck back lever too. In the back lever and all its progressions, we are working at the end range of shoulder extension, and when we aggressively extend the shoulders, they naturally want to internally rotate, pushing the scapula into an elevated and protracted state. To form the strong base in the shoulders that is needed for the tuck back lever though, we need to fight this. Instead, push for depression in the shoulders, so keeping them away from the ears. Coupled to this, the position that our back adopts will have a big impact on our back lever aesthetic. If you find the back lever too difficult, you may find that your back curves. We want to eliminate bad habits as early as possible. So instead, adopt a more neutral body line by engaging the lower back and visualizing reducing the angle between your hips and your hands. All of these cues make up a strong tuck back lever, but what happens if you try them and it's just still outside your realm of possibility? What are the best tuck back lever progressions? Well, the most basic one is the feet assisted tuck back lever. As we mentioned earlier, we should be starting out close to the ground, and in fact, with the feet assisted back lever, we keep our feet on the floor. In this position, we can shift some of our weight from our shoulders onto our toes. Remember to look for that neutral spine and depressed shoulders, and over time, as we get stronger, we can take one foot off the ground until we eventually can perform the tuck back lever. A level up from this is the band assisted tuck back lever. With a band, we have a measurable method of gauging improvements. Simply loop a band around a bar, tie a knot close to the end, clamp your legs around the knot and lower yourself into a tuck back lever, remembering all the cues that we mentioned earlier. Make sure you use a band that actually makes you work. There's very little value to just sitting comfortably in an isometric. The next progression introduces movement to our tuck back lever holds, and it is skin the cat. Dynamic movements allow us to build strength throughout a wider range. And with the skin the cat exercise, we are essentially going from a tuck front lever to a tuck back lever. These are harder than they look, so don't be disheartened if you struggle with this to begin with. In order to make skin the cat as transferable as possible, we need to remember why we're doing them. It can be easy to simply go through the motions and just move between the positions here, but to make this as relevant to our back lever training as possible, we need to avoid bending the arms, essentially looking to descend into a tuck back lever negative, holding for a few seconds before pulling back through. If you struggle with this, we can decrease the range on the skin the cat. Instead, just going for a tuck back lever negative, but whatever you do end up doing here, be sure to focus on quality. crowd, mastery of the tuck back lever is the foundation to building towards the back lever proper. So use this tutorial to get you there, but if you're looking to see how I learned how to back lever, then check out this video right here.